Once upon a time in a foggy city, there lived a kind and gentle scientist named Dr. Henry Jekyll. He was very curious about the nature of good and evil and often wondered if it was possible to separate the two sides of human nature. Dr. Jekyll conducted many experiments in his lab until one day, he created a special potion that could turn him into someone completely different, a person with no conscience or kindness at all. This new person, Mr. Edward Hyde, was the complete opposite of Dr. Jekyll. Where Dr. Jekyll was kind and caring, Mr. Hyde was mean and cruel. Mr. Hyde did many bad things in the city, like scaring people and causing trouble wherever he went. The two sides of Dr. Jekyll, his good side and bad side, were now living in one body but coming out at different times. As time went on, Dr. Jekyll found it harder to control Mr. Hyde. He tried to stop taking the potion, but the transformation would happen even without it. Dr. Jekyll grew very scared because he knew the terrible things Mr. Hyde was capable of. His friends, Mr. Utterson and Dr. Lanyon, noticed that Dr. Jekyll was acting very strange. They tried to help him, but Dr. Jekyll pushed them away because he didn't want them to know his dark secret. One terrible night, Mr. Hyde hurt a kind old man, and everyone in the city wanted to catch him. But Mr. Hyde was nowhere to be found because he had turned back into Dr. Jekyll. Mr. Utterson and Dr. Lanyon discovered the truth when they found letters written by Dr. Jekyll explaining his experiments with the potion. They realized that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde were the same person. Despite all efforts, Dr. Jekyll could not stop turning into Mr. Hyde, and he knew Mr. Hyde would eventually take over completely. In the end, Dr. Jekyll knew he had to make a terrible choice. Instead of letting the evil Mr. Hyde roam free, he decided to take his own life to stop the bad things from happening. In this way, Dr. Jekyll sacrificed himself to protect the people he cared about from the menacing Mr. Hyde. And so, the foggy city became a little safer, but the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde remained as a lesson on the importance of balancing the good and bad within ourselves.